don't understand. Like you know how a person get bit from a vampire? They're turned. I was turned at birth. Like I'm
literally.
Really, you know. And y'all gotta forgive me
old,
because
3. Put that in your mind, guys.
Because when you touch on certain things, it's like I get amped. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready. You know? So yeah, this shit could probably be contained. Hey, do these chairs come with seatbelts on?
Listen, I need
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready?
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your favorite chica, Frankie Red from the Phoenix TV. Welcome to another episode of the Spotlight series, where, of course, we bring you some amazing talent from across South Florida. Everything from entrepreneurs to artists to upcoming and rising managers. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're doing something big here in South Florida, make sure to follow us, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and of course, hit us up. We want to interview you, okay? Because we are getting diverse with the interviews here. First of all, before I even introduce this man, we want to give a big shout out to the very first fighter we've ever had on our round table, which of course is Ace Mayhem. But today, we have not only the founder, the creator, the originator, the visionary, okay, of Bare Knuckle Fighting, okay, better known as BYB Extreme. Y'all make some noise for the one and only, the real DADA 5000. How you feeling after that introduction?
Oh, listen. That was amazing. DADA 5000 in the building. Big DADA in the building. Yo, listen. That was 5 stars out the gate. What? You didn't fumble, you didn't stumble, and you just rolled it out like the red carpet.
Hey, listen, they don't call me Frankie Red for no reason, okay? I'm going to roll out the red carpet when it's necessary. So, first of all, we want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting the invitation to sit with us. I think for us as the Phoenix Mag, right, this is kind of a big deal because the Phoenix, those of you that don't know, Phoenix behind the camera, right, the originator and producer of this show, he's a big fan of all things, you know what I'm saying, entertainment, especially when it comes to sports in different divisions. I've never heard of bare knuckle fighting until my producer told me, so I literally had no idea this was a thing. Like, I've seen fight movies, fight clubs, stuff like that, but I never knew it was actually real, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really interested in, you know, just learning everything of where you started from Kimbo 2005, you know, to now. But before we get started, we got to get these shots in because that's how we open the show. Y'all know that's how we open the show. Comment below what's the favorite liquor that we have drank on this show. What's your favorite? Now, I did not expect you to say gin.
Yeah, gin, bro. Listen, right? So, gin came about because of my upbringing with my grandmother and so forth like that. You know, they say, hey, listen, if you got a cold, you take a shot of gin. You know that type of stuff like that.
Yeah, it clears you up.
There you go.
So you sick right now? Is that what you're telling us?
No, but that's just tradition. And this is sociable, so, you know, we're about to have a conversation.
That's right.
Listen, tune in, friend, tell a friend, DADA 5000. The big ticket is in the building. We're going up with this one. All the way up.
You know what? I normally drink brown, but just because it's you, I'm going to drink some Bombay too. How about that?
That's what's up.
I'm going to be a good Bombay gin sport. Shout out to our amazing liquor sponsors, of course. Shout out to the Phoenix Mag, always holding it down. Food and wine, what it do. All right, so here we go. What are we cheering to?
We're cheering to prosperity, you know, to overcoming every obstacle. Taking it to new heights.
I love it.
Oh, I didn't know you're supposed to drink the whole
Oh, well, if you want to do it in parts.
Okay.
I'm a champion around here. I don't know if you heard about me. I knock out some people too. You know, man, the only thing I'm knocking out is at night to go to bed, okay? So I definitely want to start from the very beginning because upon my findings of your story, I really love to, you know, I love to hear people that have been through different things in life, right? Have had different creative journeys. And, you know, you were a corrections officer, then you worked in the Department of Children and Families, you know, then you took that time and say, you know what, let me just take a break, a leave of absence, and let me, you know, go and start working with Kimbo and his backyard fighting. Talk about, even before the backyard fighting, what was that DADA like? What was the correction officer DADA like? What was any of those parts of you make who you are today in the ring?
Absolutely, because you got to keep one thing in mind. I come from a rough sector inside Miami-Dade, West Prime, right? That no one likes to talk about. So when you look at South Beach, right? They show you the beaches, the glamour, the glitter. What's 15 minutes on the other side of that bridge? Overtown. They're not going to talk about that because it's going to mess up their, tourism dollars, right? So we are the land of the lost, but we exist, right? So having good people skills. Oop, I'm sorry.
Oh, spill the drink. Somebody gonna get some good luck. Napkins production. Napkins.
Oh, wow.
We good.
First editions of the bloopers. My bad, you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome, no problem. We gonna shout that out to, Biggie. That's for Tupac. That's for Nipsey. You want somebody? You got somebody? Selena? Who you
Earl.
got? Who?
Earl.
Earl?
Yeah.
Someone named Earl passed away?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So while we're into that, you know what I'm saying? My mom, Ellen Stewart, Miss Janice, Chauncey, Tree, Herb, Big Sean, everybody that was inside the backyard, that spill was for you.
Beautiful. It was symbolic. Here you go, production.
Yes.
We don't want the symbolism on camera.
So, just picking back up, it's like to have good people skills. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that translation is key. A lot of individuals, they don't know how to direct their message and get it across, so it can stick. A lot of times, people will miss what you're trying to get them to understand. So I learned through having, a level of understanding that to know that everybody is on different levels, right? So I would make a sandwich out of the scenario, out of the situation, right? So if you have a short attention span, I will put the top bun, right, and create it inside of a format that it's something that piques your interest, right? And I will stick what I want you to actually,
believe or see.
And tell you how I need you to correct it. And I will end it out with something that also gets your attention, right? So I never lost you. And people was wondering like, yo, how do you come up with these formats? Because I understand the individuals that I'm communicating with, that I'm targeting.
And that was not only as a corrections officer, but then also in the Department of Children and Families. Because now you're were you more like in social work in that realm?
Yes, I was an FSW, that's family support worker. What we were doing is, we were going out, to the Pork and Beans, the Scott's Projects and so forth like that, in other parts of Miami-Dade County. Before it got to the point that the kids were being extracted, we came out as mediators to see if we can actually remedy whatever the situation is. We've went in our pockets dozens of times, buying TVs, buying this, buying that, because we understand, you don't understand, but we understand where this thing is going. So we don't want to see it that way. So we're going to give a great effort, to come that on, and postpone or reroute, the inevitable.
Now, how would those two things that you said, because I think those two things are they're very polar opposite from each other, being a corrections officer and working probably in like a violent setting or what have you, and then working with children and families and providing resources for them. What have those two things done for DADA the fighter?
Wow, it put me in a position to be diabolic, right?
When you talk about the day, diabolic.
I gotta take the hat off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah.
Hold on, we gonna clap for that red hair. Yes.
The people out there, you know what I'm saying? I know it look kind of rough. I need a cut, but I'm out there with these great people, so that's what's up. So it's like, it helped out because I understand, superpowers. Being able to communicate is a superpower. A lot of people don't know how to express themselves, right? A lot of people don't know how to identify with problems, let alone find a solution or a resolution, right? You're looking from the outside looking in. So when you look at Batman, when you look at, and I'm not going to say Robin because Robin was a sidekick. When you look at Superman, when you look at He-Man, when you look at Incredible Hulk, all of these individuals, right? So I prided myself off of studying, right? Because I hate to get corrected, right? That's such a downfall, right? So I said, hey, listen, I'm going to take all of the superheroes known to man, and I'm going to take all of their strengths, none of their weaknesses,
You're going to embody them.
Exactly. So it's like it's hard for anybody to contest me, to come after me. That's why you don't see nobody trash talking me, really. Right?
They scared of you in a way?
Because
I would be terrified of a superhero with all the superhero powers. I'm just saying.
I long for that type of stuff, you know. Shout out to Mike Vasquez, you know. Hey, that's the president of BYB Extreme. He tells me all the time, "Dada, just calm down." I'm like, listen, where I'm from, calming down is a weakness.
Yes, it is. And if you're not from Miami-Dade, you probably won't understand that. You know, you got to turn up or turn down. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. And in the backyard, you know, it put me in a position to understand different mentalities, right? You have certain individuals that come back there. These individuals, some of them was deemed two-time losers, some of them was deemed failures, so forth like that. So all of that is on me when you got 1,000 people inside of the backyard. That's your responsibility. You have to make sure and ensure everybody's safety, because it's because of you and this event that's bringing everybody together.
Right.
So I need to understand the importance of knowing how to talk to people.
Now, when you say the backyard, for those of you that are local here, are you talking about you started at the actual backyard locally here in Fort Lauderdale, or are you just referring to the backyard?
No, it was down in Miami.
Okay.
You know, Perrine.
Don't get confused, y'all.
Shout out Dade County worldwide.
Hey,
you know?
305.
So it's like at the world famous greenhouse. It was my mom. Actually, this is the house right here.
Oh,
this
wow.
Is the yard. Yeah.
Exhibit A.
You know, so it's like I found good use for that. You know, and I understood, you know, what the individuals inside the community had and what they didn't have. Most of them, they didn't have a high school diploma. They didn't have a trade. They didn't have a skill. They didn't have a steady foundation of support. But what they did have was two hands. You know, a love, a drive for wanting to be something in this life. You know, and I just gave them an opportunity. You know, and so if you're willing, this is what I expect of you and this is what you ought to expect of me. I'm going to get the biggest and the best to come out and to see you. That means that I'm going to get corporate America to trade in their baseball hats and tennis shoes, you know, I mean, their suits and ties for baseball hats and tennis shoes to come down here to sunny South Florida. Because I told them the next best thing is not coming out of an MMA camp or a dojo camp. It's coming out of the biggest backyard in America. They say Wrangling Brothers and Barnum Belly Circus is the greatest show on earth until the backyard circus.
Until. I love that. Now I want to back up a little bit because you said something earlier that really stood out to me. It's funny. I actually formulated one of my questions literally this way. You spoke about superpowers, right?
There you go.
And in reading your story, one of the things that was most captivating to me is you literally have, and if y'all don't know, please look him up, okay? You literally have a almost incredibly Hulk-like story, right? Mm-hmm. You were brought to this country from the Bahamas. You're originally from the Bahamas. You know, needing strep meningitis treatment. And you turned into a 3-year-old baby. Listen to me. He was a newborn and turned 3 years old, basically, because of the treatment. That is basically like the Incredible Hulk. So not only do you say you feel like a superhero, but if we really want to take away all of the, you know, fairy tale stuff, this is your real life.
Exactly. And
so
people,
how is that a part of you?
Listen,
talk about
people
that.
don't understand, like you know how a person get bit from a vampire, they're turned. I was turned at birth, like I'm
literally,
really, you know, and y'all gotta forgive me
old,
because
3. Put that in your mind, guys.
Because when you touch on certain things, it's like I get amped. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready. You know? So yeah, this shit could probably be contagious. Hey, these chairs come with seatbelts on.
Listen, I need a confinement
you know?
vest.
So here's the thing. I was born with the worst case of meningitis, right? And people could Google this type of stuff here, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I was in Miami Children's Hospital, you know what I'm saying, for literally 3 years. You know, because I was up and down. You know, and if I would have went to the house, you know what I'm saying, no one would have been able to give me the type of care that I needed.
Were you basically battling for your life?
Pretty much,
wow.
100%. You know, and you know, I was born in the 70s, so it's like the technology ain't what it is today, especially in the Bahamas. You go to the Bahamas right now, still look like third world countries in certain parts, right? So for myself, the doctor told my mom, you know, he overcome this. He would never be sick. I've never had nothing as much as a common cold.
Wow. So
you
COVID ain't even in your...
No.
It's not even in your purview.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, when people talk about immunity, when people talk about, when I speak about superpowers and stuff, like, they think I be joking, but like,
no,
because I went through what I went through, I really feel it. You know, and even inside the backyard, you know, I was benching 500-600 pounds, so I knew, like, yo, you know, what is my purpose? You know, I'm sharp. What a lot of people don't understand is this: when you talk about having a superior level of education and knowledge, right? I graduated from Barry at the same time that I started rolling with Kimbo Slice. So I have an Associate of Arts in Education, an Associate of Science in Business Administration, and a Bachelor's of Science with a major in pre-K primary education. Right?
Educated black man.
Aside from all this other stuff, so I wonder, how did this dude do it? You know?
Let's clap for that real quick. Let's clap for that real quick, because you never hear that. I'm sure people probably prejudge you like, oh, he's just a fighter. He's just a street dude. But no, you're educated. Keep going. Keep going.
So when they look at it, when they see the nails, when they see the hair, they judge me. But little do they know, they're underestimating the most dangerous individual in the room. You know, if when I was seen walking through the airports, right? If I'm walking through the airport, you know, and this was on a few occasions, you know, because we have Hispanic friends, you know, so forth like that, you know, they would think, oh, that's the reason why DADA is doing what he's doing. Good. Deflect that over there. Leave me over here so I can continue to wreaking havoc. You know?
Do people normally think you're like a rock star because your nails are black, you have the whole mohawk thing?
Amongst other, you know.
Well, what other careers have you been confused with?
I mean, it was, listen, listen, the dark side, you know, the underworld, you know, stuff like that.
They accuse you of being demonic. And
yeah, like years ago, I was down and we was going out of town. Actually, you know what I'm saying? We was going to Texas. You know, it was with Kimbo. He was fighting Bo Cantrell. And me and Derek Brown, we stopped through this little town, you know, and I got black nails on, you know, so I went in and it was dark. I mean, everybody was strange. And when they looked and they seen the nails, they just opened up. You know, and I'm like, no, I'm not that.
I'm different. I'm different.
I'm not none of that, you know. But it's been a real educational, you know, experience, because I wouldn't trade it in for nothing in the world. Like, I've been doing this since 2005.
Right.
You know,
that's
17 years, you know. And right now it's like I have a doctorate degree in what I'm dealing with here. You know, so it doesn't matter who come out after what we've done. They've all took pages. They've all watched the notes and the blueprints of DADA 5000 inside the backyard, the biggest backyard. We done had everybody back there from Bo Sparks, the Timberland, the Fat Joe, the Terror Squad.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually badly, like
and
knuckling it out?
No, just coming back there. You know,
I'm like, dang, these artists are
checking it out there. You know, so it's like, for myself, I understood. They say music soothes the soul of a savage beast, but words can neutralize any situation. When you can make everybody in that backyard as a winner. Regardless of what society, you know what I'm saying, has stated, what labels they've placed on you, you're a winner back here, and that's how you're going to be treated. That's why we've had no type of issues or conflicts inside of the backyard.
I love that you asked that, because I think it's a perfect segue into talking about, you know, I want to definitely talk about what it's like in that ring, right? What it's like, the culture of the backyard. So one of the, you know, things that I love about your messaging is that you always revert back to put the guns down and put your fists up. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people lose sight of that, the importance of that messaging. What would you say is the most important part of that message, and how would you say it plays a role in the community when it comes to gun violence and gang violence, even any violence?
Great question. This is it, right? Certain things you don't get a second chance at. A few things, you know, you don't get do-overs at, right? And certain things you cannot take back once it's done. There's hurtful words after they're said. I forgive you, but I'll never forget what you told me.
Right.
Right? A rock after it's thrown, you can't reel that back in. A bullet after it comes out of that gun, a knot on the head today, it'll heal tomorrow. Right?
Or in a few days if you get punched by this guy. But, you know.
But everybody goes home. You know? You pull out that gun, you know what I'm saying? That's lose-lose. It's lose little and it's lose big. You know what I'm saying? It's lose big because you just took the life. No, it's big all around the board, because you're going to jail for the rest of your life.
Right.
You know?
And now you probably entice more violence because now there's beef over that death.
Exactly. You know, so I would look at it like this to answer your question. I feel like when you look at, you know what I'm saying, a universal, platform, right? And how I utilize the universe to help me sustain, and not just sustain, but to operate, you know what I'm saying, amongst a different level of diversity. We got Hispanics back there, Haitians back there, Mexicans back there, Cubans back there, African Americans back there, you name it back there, right?
You name it!
And a lot of these individuals, they're from different sets, right? So everything that I've learned, I put me inside of a position to be effective, 360 around the board, not leaving no stones uncovered, right? Because we put ourselves in position to not just host events, but to bring a tense community together that probably would never come together, you know what I'm saying, if it wasn't for this cause. I mean, a day inside the backyard, is something that you have to experience. We have DJs back there, we have music back there, we have food being cooked by 4 or 5 different people.
It's like a backyard party.
Exactly, in the words of Don King, extravaganza. That's what it is, an extravaganza. And I think that, we brought something to the community that, has never been seen or never been done. I've had fire marshals come by and it's like, hey, listen, we know when you're having these events, but we never get calls. Again, it goes back to knowing how to talk to people.
I wanted to ask you about that. What kind of backlash have you received in putting this together, and how has law enforcement supported you in that?
Well, this is it. I had 0 backlash in the initial beginning. They didn't know how to perceive this.
Because it's the branding of it is still tied around violence. So how did you get around that? How did you flip the narrative on violence to problem solving?
Okay. They looked at it as violence, and I had to tell them this is not violence, this is an alternative towards violence. I would rather these individuals be in my backyard fighting in front of individuals that can change their lives and they can make an honest buck, opposed to waiting in your backyard to tie you up and bring harm to you and your family. You know what I'm saying? When you come home from a hard day's worth of work, so you pick, you take away one, you leave them the other, right? So when you start laying it out, they get it, And then we started sending guys pro. We got these agents, these managers, these trainers, out here inside.
They made an opportunity.
Exactly. So now I'm getting calls like, when is the next show? When is the next event? Because we want to come out. And we have guys in the UFC right now. We see guys in the Bellator, top 10 boxing from the backyard. And that's when the hate started coming.
Now, when you talk about the hate, I'm sure it's came in different facets, but now you have, bare knuckle fighting on a main stage. You have a lot of people that support it. Would you say that the community has, perceived this better over the course of time because of UFC's influence, because it's so popular? Or would you say it stands alone with respect?
It stands alone with respect because you got to keep one thing in mind. When the UFC first initially started, they were bare knuckle. We're talking about your Shoney Carters, you know what I'm saying?
Without
your
the
Horace
gloves.
Gracies, your Ken
Right.
Shamrocks.
Wow.
And it was more barbaric than bare knuckle. Because you could be 130 pounds and fight somebody 200 pounds, right? It was no rules, bare minimum, right?
Bare knuckles has rules?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We roll because you gotta keep one thing in mind. In the state of Florida, in the United States, they have a boxing commission, right? They don't have an MMA commission. So the boxing commissioners, they govern MMA. Now that bare knuckle is here, the boxing commission have their hands full because they govern MMA and bare knuckle, right? So it's like with the UFC, history repeats itself, and they tried to shut the door on bare knuckle, just like afros, bell bottoms, and braids, came back. So did bare knuckle. Before the gloves were ever on in boxing or MMA, they were off, right? So now they say, hey, listen, bare knuckle is so dangerous. They don't have no gloves on. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. You see this? This is a forearm. This is an elbow. I could clinch you in MMA and drive this straight into your face. This generates more power than this. A clinch, bringing it into that knee, right? Generates more power than this. Could you envision getting leg kicked in the head? Right? So it's no gloves on your elbow. There's no gloves on your knee.
And even now with UFC, there's not.
Exactly. So they're talking about bare knuckle. The gloves are designed to protect my fist, not your face.
Oh, wow.
Right? So when you look at copybox...
Rewind that. Y'all at home, go back and hear what he just said.
You know, and I'm going to repeat it. You know, the gloves are designed to protect my fist, not the opponent's face. That's why when you look at copybox punch stat numbers in a boxing match, 900 punches can get thrown, 300 jabs, 200 body shots, 75 uppercuts. That's a lot of times over a fight that you done got your bell rung. When you talking about over a career and multiple fights, you've had people, one fight, you've had people die in boxing. Look at Riddick Bowe, that's my boy, Riddick. You know what I'm saying? Look at his speech is slurred. Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? Josh Dempsey, and a whole bunch of others. They're punch drunk. Your brain is inside of a bowl, right? Connected with fluids and connectivity type tissues. So when you get your rock, it swishes. You know, that's why people are so focused on concussions. With the footballs, helmets, specialized, you can't lead in with the head, so because they know it's serious, right? So when you talk about MMA, people have died in MMA. Listen, I fought Kimbo in 2016. Long story, shout out to Billy Corbin, Dogfight Round 2 coming soon. I want everybody to watch it. Listen, I died in that fight. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of things that goes on. Some see, I literally died. I died. I went on dialysis. I was in the hospital. Herman Memorial, shout out to Herman Memorial. They saved my life.
Who revived him?
Yeah. Listen, I was dead in the ring.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Like legally dead, but they would pronounce dead.
No, I was done.
Wow.
Luckily, that happened right there in front of millions of people worldwide. You know what I'm saying? In front of a sold out, packed out Toyota arena, right? And I had immediate attention. My heart went out for 7 minutes. It came back and it went out again for 8 minutes. And they're working up on me and they never gave up.
So you died twice.
I died twice. I stayed in the hospital for close to a month in Houston. Then I flew back to Miami and had to go on Baptist South Miami, you know what I'm saying, for another 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
And Kimbo and you were friends. How did he feel about that?
I mean, listen, a lot of individuals, they do what they feel they need to do to win. And, you know, without going into too much, you know, he had his issues, you know. I mean, I was coming in younger, stronger, no injuries, no addictions, no none of that. And I trained with him, you know, to the point that he knew you going against somebody, you know what I'm saying, that understands you. See, you sold the world Kimbo Slice. I knew Kevin Anthony Ferguson. Zero fear. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things happened, you know what I'm saying, that was out of my control. And I knew I was dying, and I still fought. Because that's the type of heart I got. When I say going out on your shield, you know what I'm saying, when Deontay Wilder said that, and we're cool. When he's in Miami, we hang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deontay. You know, so it's like, when you talk about going out on your shield, you know what I'm saying, I knew I was in trouble in the second round. I said in my mind, after this dude gonna knock me out, I'm gonna die in this ring. I ain't giving up.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened.
And
I laid down
what
that
year
night.
was this?
This was 2016.
Wow.
He died that same year.
Wow.
You know, man, listen, both of us had to go to the same hospital.
They both needed treatment for each other. Now,
You know?
this comes 5 years after this very momentous moment that I'm about to mention. But before I even talk about that moment, I want you to walk us through the feeling of what it is that I'm about to say, because I think that it's a great parallel for people to understand. Like, look, I died twice, but you knocked out somebody in 52 seconds of a match in 2011. When you did that to Timothy Pap, it was like, okay, it's over for Pap. But you probably never envisioned yourself knocking someone out in 52 seconds of a match.
I mean,
Bring us in that moment.
and I'm trying to beat that because, you know, R.I.P. the first.
First of all, hold on. That ain't even a minute, bro. There's IG Reels longer than that.
Here's the thing. Up until that fight, nobody has gotten out of the first round. Cedric James didn't get out of the first round. Chauncey, we was in the backyard, he didn't get out of the first round. You know, the first round is within 3 minutes. You know, so that's my mentality. I only got one gear, and that's forward. I was never born with a reverse. So when you look at Timothy Papp, you know, I'm coming forward. You're going to stand there, we're going to put on the show, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming to bang. Wow. You know, and again, you know, that was my thing, you know, with the build up with my last fight. You know, listen, I'm not coming to let you get settled and get comfortable. Ding ding, I'm pressing you from go. I'm on you. You know what I'm saying? And your skill set, this, that, and third, is gonna count for nothing. I'm gonna neutralize your strength and I'm gonna expose your weaknesses. You're going down hard.
How long did you prepare for that particular match?
For the last one?
No, well, for the Timothy Papp match.
Believe it or not, I rode a spin bike.
That's it? That was your only?
I promise you, I just rode a spin bike.
And you knocked somebody out in 52 seconds.
Listen, I'm coming.
For all of you people that make fun of spin class.
Yep.
I ain't trying to hear it, okay? I'm about to be DADA 5000, 6000.0. Don't play with me.
A spin bike. And I just knew that I just needed my wind and my endurance to be all right. Wow. I didn't want to get out there and get winded. So let me tell you something about skill and having that killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? If I got a person hurt, I don't need no instructions on how to finish them. You know what I'm saying? I just need to be able to go the distance. And I'm going to give it to you as long as you're still standing. You know what I'm saying?
Is it a street mindset that turns on, or is it still a trained mindset?
It has to, because I can't let you get through me. You put me down, you get to my family. That's not gonna happen.
It's a narrative.
So I'm coming, and it's like it's game time. You know what I'm saying? These dudes be looking like, why you so mean? They be wanting to shake hands. There ain't no shaking hands, man. You know? Yo, listen, like it gets for real. You know, and that's that mentality. Once I beat you up, then, you know, I ain't saying we could be friends, but, you know, once I beat you up, then, you know, I mean, the anger goes away.
Are you friends with Timothy Papp?
No, after that.
He's like, nah.
No, I mean, because he was from a different city or state.
Okay.
But it's just like, you know, I'm looking to come back this year, and we're going to do it real big. It don't matter who it is. I'm not friendly. You know, I'm DADA, the XYZ, but if you sound just like you did it to yourself, yeah, you did it to yourself because you signed that contract. You signed it, so now you're here.
Now I want to talk about the component of sportsmanship, right? Because when you talk about competitive sports, you talk about team sports, whether they're individual or team sports. There's always a level of sportsmanship, no matter what. Even if you're a beast, like you say.
After I win.
How do you display that? Or not even just you as DADA 5000, but walk our viewers through what is it like to have sportsmanship in bare knuckle fighting? Because it seems pretty abrasive. I'm gonna beat you up. We ain't friends after. But I'm pretty sure there's still an aspect of sportsmanship. So where does that come into play?
It comes into play when you understand that, hey, listen, you know, it's over. I front load these guys, especially when I was in the backyard. You know, I front load these guys on what they expect of me and what I'm gonna expect of them. Listen, we took on a lot of community situations. We squashed a lot of beefs that would have spilled over into the streets, and innocent people would have gotten affected.
Wow.
Right? So it's like when you're bringing syndicate type gang members inside of a controlled environment.
It dies there. The beef dies there.
Because they understand, and they get up, they shake hands, they hug each other, and that's it.
So in bare knuckle fighting, it's not like boxing where you do the gloves before. You only do it after.
No. That was in the backyard. You know, but
in the backyard, so you do shake hands.
Yeah, it's your choice. We say the referee, whoever that may be, touch them up. That's your choice if you want to touch them up. If not, go back to your corners.
You've obviously seen cases where they touch up and they don't touch up.
Of course.
What about you, DADA fight? Which one do you do?
I never touched up.
Come on, DADA. I thought you was gonna say like yeah, because I know I'm tough. I know I'm gonna beat you.
I never touched up, but after, like when you look at the Cedric James on Dogfight, I didn't touch up, but I shook his hand after I won.
Okay, so I want to know how good DADA 5000 sportsmanship is. So I'm gonna ask you to a thumb war. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hey, PSA, for the record, I just gotta say, I'm left-handed, so if she get me, this is my old man.
Ready? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
Come here.
Listen, this is a big thumb. This is like a tree. Yeah. Listen, I feel if that's what the thumb feel like, you don't want to get punched by this guy, okay? You definitely don't want to get punched by this guy.
That's the most fun I've had in a long time.
Hey, and he touched up, right? He touched. I'm not gonna lie, that was the most gentle thumb war because my brother and I, shout out to G behind the lens, we used to thumb war as kids all the time.
Yeah.
And I swear, you only beat me because your thumb is longer, not because you're more skilled. Yeah, you got like a little, jicky with it. So I love that you walked us through the ring, and we're definitely gonna get a little bit more into that. But one of the things I definitely want to talk about, and I think you've kind of gave us some, insight as you've been going along, but walk us through what goes through your mind, DADA 5000, when you know you have a match coming up, it's the day of, and then after the victory. Give me all three.
Listen, fear, I got it on my arm, right? But it has no fear. What is fear? False evidence appearing real, right? So I have zero fear, but I do have moments, that I will feel a certain way, right? So I'm like, yo, I don't want to get hurt. So, especially if I'm in a different city or a different town, so I got to come out and come out hard, right? So it's like for myself, once I get in the ring, any type of jitters, it's over. It's game time. We're here now in the front of a lot of people, So once you step in that ring, Yo, listen, 3 people went in. 2 people is coming out. Me and the ref. You gotta be a rocket scientist to figure out who's getting left.
Oh my God. Listen, you're so nice and friendly in this interview. I can't imagine you in the ring. Like, I feel like it'll be a whole nother person.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 100% a different person.
See, right now you're talking to Dafir Harris.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When DADA comes, it's like, it's totally different.
The fear is giving me all the friendly vibes, but DADA gonna knock my ass out, basically, is what you're saying. Listen, y'all, don't go nowhere. Keep it locked. We're going to be hearing more from DADA 5000. We're definitely going to get into some of his new endeavors. Got a big match coming up, okay, this month, and we can't wait to talk a little bit more about that. But I definitely want you to close us out with this. If there was one word that you can describe your journey as a fighter, what would it be?
Epic. It would be epic.
And with that, epically await for what the fuck's coming next.
What's up, good people? Y'all already know who it be. It's the king from city to city, state to state, in country and overseas. When it come down to belt knuckle, nobody on the planet do it bigger or better than BYB Extreme. And if y'all see or hear anybody out there that say anything different, then they're lying. We're large, we're all over the country, plus we're on fire. And we're not just number 1. We're number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the closest you get is coming in at 6. Biloxi, Mississippi, May 28th. Get your ticks. This will be a direct hit. We don't miss. BYB Extreme. When it comes to belt knuckle, we make the weekends.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it.
What it do? Listen, y'all, keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. Thank you guys so much for being here. We still gonna get to know a little bit more from DADA 5000 in terms of him professionally. But right now, we're gonna switch gears because y'all know here at the Phoenix Mag, it ain't the Phoenix Mag, it ain't the Phoenix TV, it ain't the Spotlight Show if we are not doing something about bringing light and life into people's aura. Okay, so for all of our viewers out there, thank you so much for always bringing us your questions, tuning in, showing us love. We are about to get into one of my favorite games. Shots for your thoughts. Are you ready?
Ready.
I was born ready. Alright, so just so you guys know, in case it's your first time here at the Phoenix Mad, welcome, subscribe, hit that like button, and make sure that you keep it locked here all the time because we always bring you some dope ass content. Anyway, here are the rules. So I'm gonna ask my good fella over here, Mr. Dada 5000. I like to put Mr. in front of it, makes you sound important. You are important even without the Mr. by the way. Don't hit me or anything. Dada 5000 is going to answer a question. Now, if he gets the question right before 10 seconds is up, of course he avoids the penalty, doesn't have to drink anything. We just move along with our merry lives and it'll be a boring show. If he gets it wrong, however, it'll be amazing because he has to take a shot and, of course, pay the penalty, which is exactly that, taking the shot. Here it's really about your perspective, you know. It could either be good or it could be bad, but I'm wishing you good luck. Can we touch up? Boom. Look. I'm one of the only. Oh, we doing jelly beans for this game?
Yeah, right. No, he said you're gonna take shots. You're gonna take shots?
Yeah, the jelly beans are for this or that.
Because you know they're gonna get a lot of the wrong answers.
Yeah.
All right.
We winning over here.
We winning.
All right, so here we go. First question. What gets wet while drying?
What gets wet while drying?
Yep, 10 seconds on the clock.
What gets wet while drying? God damn it. You got me on that one. A dolphin.
A dolphin?
He answered
Wait,
before
He-
the buzzer.
No.
That is a very intelligent answer.
Let's make sure we understand and hear his answer.
Oh,
What
yeah,
was
he
that?
said a
What was that?
dolphin.
What gets wet while drying?
A
Right?
dolphin?
A dolphin, because the ideology behind that. I want you guys to listen.
Woo, the ideology.
Let's hear it, let's hear
The
it.
dolphins will jump out of the water,
Get dry.
right, and then go right back in.
As I said, it's intelligent. That's really smart. A seal could do that too. That's mad smart. Gino, I think you gotta drink a shot for that.
Things that make you go,
Right. So that's not the answer, but team looks like they're going to accept it. Actually, they're drinking because that answer was so good. So I know you guys at home aren't seeing this right now, but this is so funny that they're drinking because his answer was that good. But the actual answer is a towel.
What gets wet?
While drying. You're drying yourself with the towel, but what's getting wet? The
I
towel.
like that.
Alright, ready? Here we go.
Moment of
Question number
realization.
2. Don't be too stumbled. What time is it when an elephant sits on the fence? 10 seconds on the clock.
What time is it when an elephant sits on a fence? Downtime?
Ooh, good guess.
Downtime.
Not downtime. Not downtime. That is incorrect. The correct answer is time to fix the fence.
Really? Really? No! Come on!
I mean, if an elephant.
Hey, you guys, come on!
He said
Come
you
on.
guys.
Listen.
Let me see that cup, man.
Come on now. Hey, work with me now. Come on, man. Hey, the downtime was a good
Look, I
one.
won't even fill it up. I won't even fill it up. I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Downtime was a good one.
We're gonna take a
Yeah.
shot
Right.
with you. You gotta re-up on me.
Oh my God. Hey, I got robbed without a pistol on that one, man. Downtime.
That was hilarious. No, downtime was good. That was the best one I've heard so far.
Okay.
That was really, really good. Okay, so I'm gonna let you take that shot.
To
I'm gonna let you
downtime.
marinate a little bit
Downtime.
before we get the next question in.
Hey, would this be like a lull in the stoppage? If I do like this and then I set it down and then I lose the next one, he'd be like, oh.
No, we gotta take the whole shot. That's why I didn't fill up his cup. I was like, let me be equitable here. All right, what a good sport. All right, here we go. Listen carefully. 2 fathers and 2 sons are in a car. Yet there are only 3 people in the car. How is this possible?
2 fathers, 2 sons are in a car, but yet it's only 3 people that are in the car. One is an infant.
Good guess, but no, that is incorrect. There is a grandfather in the car, a father in the car, and a son in the car. Grandfather and father are two fathers. Father and son make two sons. There are two fathers and two sons. Yo, that's a jumbly one. Some of these things you gotta read them.
Yo.
Comment down below if you got that one. Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts.
Anybody at home, did you get this stuff, man?
He needs to
I honestly
know.
got that one before.
Did you get this stuff?
I honestly got that one before.
Hey,
We gonna find out in the comments, G, if you got it the way
I'm
you
gonna comment.
I'm still messed up on the
Refresh
element
comment.
sitting on the fence. That's downtime.
He said that's downtime.
It is that was a really
was-
good. That
it
was
is
so
downtime.
good. You guys should drink.
We did.
We did.
Oh, okay, good.
Really,
I'm
yeah.
so happy to hear that.
You
What
should
the
drink.
fuck?
So go ahead. That's your
This is-
second granddaddy shot.
This is an electric chair upside down, right? So I'm gonna turn it right side up and I'm gonna put on my thinking cap.
Ooh. All right, careful now. The electric waves are traveling. Ooh, don't touch them. You might get zapped. I told you. Okay, here we go. You walk into a room that contains a match, a kerosene lamp, a candle, and a fireplace. What would you light first?
I walk into an environment that
Has a match, a gas lamp, a candle, and a fireplace. Which one do you light first?
the match.
Come on now. That's exactly how you answer that question. You light the match first.
You're doing gin?
Look, thank
I'm
you, cap
doing
on.
gin in
thinking
honor of our
Thinking
It's the
cap.
thinking
Thank you.
cap.
Oh,
thinking cap.
shit.
I'm doing gin in honor of our esteemed guest. By the way, shout out to gin. Gin is good with Sierra Mist and Sprite and ginger ale. Few things. Oh God.
How many questions do we have with this?
Why you trying to see how many more shots you gotta drink?
How many you about to drink?
He said the thinking cap is on now.
The gloves are off and the thinking cap is on.
All right, here we go. Last question. If your uncle's sister is not your aunt, what relationship does she have to you?
If my uncle's sister is not my aunt, next to Ken?
Yeah. What? Oh, that's your
that was
answer?
it.
Next to
Next to
No. If your uncle's sister is not your aunt, she's your mother.
Say it again.
If your uncle's sister is not your aunt, she's your mother.
That was well deserved.
Sorry, thinking cap. We can't give you all the credit.
But I should take your time a little bit
God
on that
damn
one.
Okay.
Hey, I should have done it like this.
Like, there
I
you
should've-
go.
Yeah, wow, that was a good one. That was
There you
good.
go, darling. Look,
That
and
was a
for all
good
y'all at home, I've been real considerate. I have not been filling up these shots to the rim.
Appreciate
They're like a
you.
little bit halfway-ish.
Wow.
Ish. Ish. That is your last shot, my love. You can breathe now. You definitely
Okay.
came on top. What was that?
Whose phone?
Sound like a shot to me.
It sounds like my...
Sound like a shot to me.
It actually was my music playing because it's
Sound like a
resting on me.
notification noise, does it not?
No, it's not. It's a song. Look.
So you want to do the shot for this or that real quick?
It's What to Do featuring Don Tolliver.
You're trying to get us copyrighted. 2 shots.
We're not. Shout out to Jack Boys and
2
Travis
shots.
Scott. Love that song. But no, I'm not. I ain't drinking nothing. I'm working hard here. So listen, y'all, before we get into the next segment real quick, definitely want to close things out in terms of talking about your experience when it comes to being in the ring. Right before we went on break, we were talking about you walking us through that, right? That narrative. But I really want you to kind of tell us the trajectory of, bare knuckle fighting for you, right? Like, you went from doing this recreationally, doing this for the community, to creating a brand, to now having this on a main stage. What has that been like for DADA 5000 to be a part of the history and to be the founder of this idea?
Well, awesome question again, by the way. For myself, right, this has been, a roller coaster of a journey. It's not always been good, but I had to, endure the good, the bad, the ugly. But I never stopped. I was consistent. I always said this business It's 90% strategy, 10% execution, right? I stayed the course. I stayed at it, right? And I seen daylight, right? And I knew it would come, right? So for myself to say, hey, I went from the backyard, you know what I'm saying, through the transition, going to the Hard Rock, city to city, state to state, overseas, you know, and this is something that came from here. And other individuals believed in it enough to put millions of dollars behind it. Like people don't have no knowledge of how big this is. You know, and we're about to make some really big announcements that's gonna shake the world to its core.
Wow. And you have women doing it too.
Oh, come
which
on.
I like you guys on your main event. Like, if you don't know about this life, the women doing it too.
Because we're not playing. Again, I'm an ambassador for the culture. You know, I'm a spokesman. They say, hey, you know, you're humble. You know, when I looked at the definition of humble, I said I'm going to stop using humble so much, right? Because humble is when you're downplaying your importance, your accomplishments to make someone else feels good. Somebody say, hey, Phoenix, man, you're awesome. You're doing this, you're doing that. And you say, nah, it ain't nothing. I mean, I try. No, you
really
are
fucking-
awesome. You are fucking awesome. You know? I mean, that's what it is. You went through it. You paid the price. You made the sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of individuals, they would, you know, deny your accomplishments to the day that you die, opposed to giving you your roses while you can still smell them while you're still alive. You see? So, you know, for myself, it's a good feeling because I've opened up doors, me and my partners, you know what I'm saying, to giving individuals an opportunity. You know, shout out to Team 5000. Shout out to the President Mike Vasquez, you know what I'm saying, and CEO of BYB Extreme, you know what I'm saying, Jose Pepe Cyrus, you know, myself, you know, and all of my guys that was with me from the backyard, which is too many to mention, you know what I'm saying, as we made that conversion, and now we're making history.
I love it. Listen, don't go nowhere, y'all. We about to play this or that next. And of course, we want to hear all about this grandiose event that is happening May 28th in Mississippi. Of course, brought to you by BYB. Don't go nowhere as told by me. This is your favorite chica, Frankie Red, with the Phoenix TV. Ooh, bitch, that rhymed all the way through.
Have that counter move. There's a big right hand again by. This is a street fight all the way. Yeah, big shot there. Yep. He's hurt. He's already stiff. He's done. He's out.
My phone on silent. Y'all know how we get down at the Phoenix Mag. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be fair. And ooh, we like that sound. We like that sound. Shout out to Kirby Ventures. You know why I'm shouting you out. Hold up, y'all. My phone ringing, and we play by the rules. Okay. If your phone rings in this studio, you have to take a shot. So I'm gonna take a shot. And call him now. Send him a text. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Whew.
You know what?
I didn't know how the lemony taste.
I don't know, because I'm such an honest Abe type guy. When you took that shot, I just realized that this was just sitting on the table from the last time.
Come on! We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to take the shot before you start the game.
Am I wrong? Should I just stay quiet?
Nah, we appreciate the
No,
honesty. For
you
sure.
need to take it.
And Gino's gonna take a shot with you.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
He's not a long ranger.
No man left behind.
Yikers. All right, here we go. So, this is, of course, one of my favorite games. Y'all already know I'm here for the games. I be here for the interview, but I be with the fun in the games, okay? So, one of my favorite games, of course, is this or that. Or you gonna get with this. Or you gonna get with that. Or you gonna get with this. Or you gonna get with that. So, one of the things I'm most excited about is, seeing artists and creatives and everybody that comes to our round table get kind of like caught up between two options, right? Because sometimes that's hard. So the way this game goes, I'm going to give you two things. You can only pick one. If you take longer than 5 seconds, your time is now gone down. Yes. If you take longer than 5 seconds to choose, you must pay the penalty, which of course in this case is the Bean Boozled. And of course, if you say both or you can't decide, then you also must pay the penalty.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Can we play paper, rock, scissors for an additional 2 seconds?
Oh Lord, what's gonna happen from that?
Paper, rock, scissors.
I know, I never heard nobody say it like that.
if we're willing to give you paper, rock, scissors for 2 additional seconds, if you lose, do you get those 2 seconds withdrawn? What are we doing here?
Good question.
What's going on?
So are we going from 5 seconds to 3?
Like, we can definitely do that if you're willing to do that. We'll step into your
What
range.
if we start them at 7 and it could either go down to 5 or up to 9?
I like that.
Okay.
We can do that.
We'll start at 7, right?
Hey, I forgot where I was. You got
This is media. This is what we do. So we'll start you at 7 and I'll do rock, paper, scissors, or what you called it?
paper, rock, scissors.
Paper, rock, scissors, okay? And we'll start you at 7. If you win...
I tell you what.
Oh, we renegotiating, y'all. I'm here for it.
I tell you what. If I lose, if you lose, we start off at 7. If I lose, we start at 4.
Wow! Best out of 3?
Best out of 3.
All right, here we go.
Hey, now
Ready?
we gotta let go now.
Let's do it.
Here we
We gotta
go.
let go. You ready?
Yes. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. No, you gotta do it 3 times. But that was a tie. All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right, count
All
score.
right, here we go.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
up one.
so, yeah, he's up 1. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Bomb. All right, here we go.
There we go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'm the champion.
Wow.
I would just like everyone to hear my little brother's cosign Gino. Am I not the queen of rock, paper, scissors?
Indeed you are.
He literally had no idea what he was
So
walking
y'all
into.
set me up.
No, he knew.
It was your idea.
It was your idea. Listen, I am the queen. I am the queen. Fun fact, at UCS new student orientation, right? There was 640 of us or whatever. It was like a crazy number like that. It's in my diary. I won rock, paper, scissors against everybody at the UCS.
You were solid. You were poised. I should have knew it was something that was off. Listen.
Craig.
I thought she was just gonna do this. When I seen that she put the hand underneath it,
Technique.
It's on.
Let's go.
I should have backed out then.
She's different.
Yeah.
She's different.
All right,
You know
so we're down
what?
to 4
I'm trying
seconds.
to prove to him that I could be another fighter.
Hey, you
you
guys.
go.
So now we're down to 4 seconds, unless you got a heart.
Well, damn.
She don't.
Oh man. Well, at least it's better than you know. All right, so here we go. We got a few this or that's on the board. First one, and oh, by the way, hit your buzzer for your answer.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
Muhammad Ali. Reason being, Mike Tyson, he fought once, maybe twice a year in his heyday. Back when Ali was fighting, he was fighting 2 to 3 times a month.
What the fuck?
2 to 3 times a month. That's a real champion.
Wow.
So, okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he had a couple losses, but that's only because these guys back then, like Jack Dempsey, them boys that getting the 50-something and 60-something. It took Mayweather, over 2 decades to get there. These guys were putting up those numbers in like a fraction of the time because they was fighting multiple times. So I gotta give that to Ali.
Wow. Love it. Respect it.
Real good.
All right, here we go. Robbie.
Hold on. Aren't you supposed to? I mean, like.
No. I got nothing. Production said there's no consequence for me.
Okay, good.
We are moving on.
He's like, hold on, player.
I know.